Hello, this is Prove Attitude, and today I'm going to be interviewing Blitz. Blitz, say hello.
Hello, I'm Blitz.
And this interview today is just kind of about team play and just competitive Dota, and just kind of an introduction into that. So THR players and Dota Cash players can kind of get familiar with the different game of competitive Dota. So Blitz, let's start out by just you introducing yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Blitz. I am the team captain of currently W-Law, which consists of me, Tides of Time, which everybody should know. I think he's #1 on Dota Cash and THR's Tier 2 list. Samugi, or KU, or whatever, Monster, Jo, Jing, and I really hope oh god, I know I'm missing somebody, and Dave, aka Korea. And we've been around for about a week. We got to the finals of Sex, lost, but what are you gonna do? And I was also previously the captain of Hausen and Mainline, and Catface, if I remember correctly my Dota history, yes.
Good stuff. So are you guys planning on playing in more tournaments and Sex and stuff like that?
Yep, we're currently signed up for the Dota Cash 1, which I believe is on Sunday, and we're also actually signed up for the one on the 17th, I believe, that you're hosting.
Well, that's good. I wish you guys luck in that. How long have you
Thank
been
you.
playing Dota competitively on team?
Well, the first competitive team I ever played with was probably Iron Fist, which was a combination of me, Zeb, and pretty much whoever we could get. But competitively, I would have to say about upwards of a year and a half, maybe a bit longer.
Okay, and before that were you just playing just pub games?
Yeah, pretty much. I actually started getting a little more serious about Dota when THR first came out. I don't know when the exact date of that is. Do you know how long THR has been around?
It was April of 2009, I think.
So, well, then maybe I've only been playing competitively for about a year. Huh. Well, I started playing a little more seriously when THR came around, and I was kind of bad, but I worked at it, and then their Tier 2 system came up, and I played in that like night and day almost, and that made me a lot better. So, props to THR too.
Well, that's good. It's kind of quite opposite of what I heard. I've heard that leagues kind of make you worse, but, you know, to each their own.
It's kind of what you make of it. I know a lot of people just kind of dick around because they say, oh, it's only Tier 2, it doesn't matter. But I feel like if you put in an honest effort and you try your best in those games and you try to play not just independent from your team, but you actually try to get something done cooperatively, then it'll help your experience a lot more. Rather than trying to just do this whole, like, oh, I'm going to farm all day, ignore everybody, and if I lose, blame everybody else. And, you know, a lot of people are just like, oh, it's a Tier 2, I did nothing wrong, everybody else played poorly, and they just work off of that fact. But, you know, it's one of those things where I honestly wanted to get better, and I just played very hard in all the Tier 2s, and I still do. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't take it so seriously, it's Tier 2, but, you know, that's how you get better. You do take those games seriously.
Well, that kind of seems to be the running attitude of Dota players nowadays, so it's kind of good to hear some positive advice like that to not be a player like that, you know?
Yeah, I think that's one of the giant things that are plaguing the Dota community. There's not enough people taking games seriously, and they also, another thing is, bad players are saying, oh, well, THR2 is bad, so I'm not even going to try in it. And they want to make the jump, but, you know, when they try to make the jump, they're clearly not prepared. You know, there are a lot of people out there that think they could play in leagues like Fears and LDHL, but, you know, they're simply not good enough. And so, to them, I say simply, like, try your best in Tier 2s, and try to work on your individual skill, because, you know, just because you play competitive games doesn't naturally make you better. You need to have the individual skill ready. And I think that's one of the things about competitive Dota that hurts it the most. A lot of people are quite ready for the jump, When Sex first came around, there were just a lot of garbage teams that would sign up and they're like, oh, well, we'll naturally get better just by scrimming, you know, but it's simply not that. You also need some measure of individual skill. Obviously, you should try playing in the high skill games you can, but, you know, if Tier 2 is suited to your particular skill level, then try to get better at that. Not that I want to discourage
Definitely some
anybody.
good advice there. Yeah, no, that's fine. How many teams have you been a part of since you've been playing Dota competitively?
I'd say 4 or so, and I was team captain of 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Catface Mainline Hausen, and this one, I guess. But I wasn't the leader of Iron Fist, but yeah.
Okay, well that's pretty cool then. What was the shortest lived team and the longest lived teams that you've been a player on or a captain of?
The shortest probably was Mainline, I don't know. The longest was probably Hausen, mainly because we had a lot of success on that team.
Well, while we're into that, what do you think was the cause of the breakup of those teams and the success of Hausen?
I mean, it's the same bullshit all over again. It's not trying to like preach or anything, but the thing that's wrong with competitive Dota is the fact that there's a lot of egos involved. Trying to find 5 like-minded players that can get along well without any issues is nigh impossible in the Dota scene, mainly because of the I blame you suck attitude, where people think they're better than their peers, and it just boiled over and it didn't work out. Or it became an issue of people not putting in the time or commitment. So, but as far as housing goes, we had 6 or so people that were dedicated that were around the same skill level, and we were just willing to play hard and just ignore most of the bullshit. To be fair, most of the drama came from me, but learning to get past that.
Yeah, I've played with you before.
I mean, it's not that bad. I expect when I play competitively, I expect like a high level of play at all times from my peers. So.
Yeah, I mean, as much as you yelled at me when we played scrims together, I actually did learn quite a bit from you, and you were a good captain. And I think it's hard for Dota players to get over their egos and actually like listen to a captain and get along with them and kind of just like do what they say, you know?